Welcome back to the show. I'm Nicky Stephen, 1866 Fox fans, F at foxsoccer.com, 32369. And we have Curt Onalfo, head coach of the Kansas City Wizards, on the phone. Week 2 of Major League Soccer. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot for having me, guys. How you guys doing?
Very well. Thanks very much for joining us. And let's be honest, not the start you probably were looking for. What's gone wrong the first couple of weeks?
Well, geez, an awful lot has gone wrong. We've had the injury bug for sure, which has been unfortunate, but all teams have to deal with that. But we really, at the end, what we've done is we've made youthful errors that have cost us. And you know, against Toronto in the first game, we didn't perform that well, and then we made errors, and they're a good team, and they capitalized on all those. And then this past weekend, I thought we performed very well. And you know, we're on the road. We were without Josh Wolf, Davey Arno, Adam Chrisman, Roger Espinosa, Kevin Suter, just to name a few. And we performed well, but again, in the end, we made some youthful errors that ended up costing us. So, you know, we'll get through it. It's certainly not the start we wanted, but we have a very good team, and we'll get back on track, hopefully, this weekend.
Can I ask what happened to Davey? Because last week he was sensational. I mean, scoring two goal of the season candidates.
Unbelievable. I mean, you know, I told him, you know, after that game, geez, Davey, I'm disappointed because you should have scored a third.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, he had a great first game. Unfortunately, he had an issue with his neck all week that got worse and worse, and it was one of these things that on game day on Saturday, the medical staff just made a determination he wasn't able to play. So hopefully he'll get healed and be ready this weekend.
Curt, let me ask you, it's a disappointing start to the season, and I'm not going to harp on that, but how do you keep the dressing room morale and confidence going? Is this where you're going to be calling on people like Jimmy Conrad and Claudio Lopez to really help you keep the morale of the young kids going?
Well, I think, you know, we've instilled a winning attitude and a positive attitude, you know, over the 2 years that I've been the coach. So that's not a major concern, but certainly I like to empower my players and certainly the veterans. And Claudio Lopez is a great professional on and off the field, as is Jimmy Conrad. So they're two guys that I turn to. But, you know, again, we have a lot of positives to build on this last weekend, especially with all the injuries and the performance we put in. We just fell a little bit short. We should have at least tied the game. We didn't, and we just the way I look at it is we're dealing with some issues early on in the season that sometimes when you win, you kind of mask things, and you know, we'll address them and make sure we get better, and it's going to make us a better team in the end.
Coming into this season, what are the expectations for the Wizards? Because you have been slowly but surely building what looks like a very solid team, kind of like the Columbus Crew, to be honest with you. I mean, do you think you can make a big run this year?
Well, our goal is to make the playoffs like every team and then be playing our best soccer at the end of the season, and that gives you a chance to win. But we certainly have developed a lot of young players, and I'll tell you, there's times when you pull your hair out as a coach because when you put young players on the field, they're going to make mistakes, and you have to understand that. But in our league, with our salary cap, we feel like that's a good formula here in Kansas City. And in the long run, it'll help us, you know, develop a team that will be consistently good for years to come. So that's the plan. And you know, we feel right now we just want to get our first win and make sure we get ourselves in playoff contention and then make the playoffs. That's our goal for this year.
Let's focus on a couple of players on the Wizards, and then going back to Claudio Lopez, if we could. Here's a guy who could have gone back to Argentina, didn't, stayed with you, took a pay cut in order to do so. Is he the guy that you hold up as Exhibit A to the youngsters on how to be a professional footballer?
Certainly. I mean, we have you know, I think Jimmy Conrad falls in that category. Davey Arno for sure as well. But Claudio is just he's a great example on and off the field. He's an unbelievably great pro that's played in such, you know, some of the best, you know, teams in the world, and he's one of these guys that, you know, when rookies need to pick up bags and move equipment, he's helping out. He's a very humble guy, and he's really a wonderful guy to have in the locker room. And he's a role model for our young players, and I'm very pleased with the leadership that he's brought to our team.
Who do you think is going to be the biggest challenge in the East this year? Because it seems like the East has really raised the level of their game, and especially with Toronto coming flying out of the blocks, it seems like the competition is stronger than ever in that particular conference. I just think it's going to be one of these divisions that all year long it's going to be so close. You know, I think Toronto is much improved. Anytime you have Di Rosario on the field, he's a game changer. And you know, if you look at the game he played against us, he was involved with all three of those goals. So
I think they're going to be tough, but I really don't think there's one team that's going to just stand out. I think there's just going to be a dogfight all year long, which is going to make me with a lot, I'll have a lot more gray hair at the end of this year, and so will a lot of the other coaches.
Let's talk about the big signing for you guys this summer was Santiago Herzig. Who is he? Where did he come from? And how did you find him?
Santiago Herzig, he played for San Lorenzo. We saw him when we went down to Argentina a couple years back. Came on the radar while we were in preseason, and it was just a no-brainer. He's a seasoned pro that has won championships in the Argentine First Division. He's got a big presence on the field. A very good passer of the ball, excellent work rate, and just a calming influence on the game, which is a really good thing for our group. We're a team that is usually very quick on the counter, and a team that likes to play very, very quick and direct to goal, and to be attack-oriented stuff. And at times we need to possess the ball better, and that's something he's going to bring to our team. So.
Is he going to be essentially your version of Guillermo Barros Schelotto?
Not really, because Schelotto is a little bit farther up the field and really kind of makes things happen in the final third, where Santiago is more of a guy that is going to help dictate a lot of the pace of the game in the midfield, and he'll put the dirty work in as well. So he's kind of a box-to-box midfielder that has, like I said, a very calming influence on the field. And we just got to get him game fit. He's a couple weeks away, but, in both games that we brought him into, he's really made an impact.
Kurt, can you stay on the phone and take some calls?
Sure, no problem.
Fantastic. We are going to take a quick break, but we're going to leave you with your pictures. Keep sending them, FFF@foxsoccer.com. We'll be right back with Curt Onalfo, head coach of the KC Wizards.